If you ever thought to yourself, what does a hot shower feel like after 3 weeks of cold showers? It's pretty awesome. I would definitely recommend it. It's kind of like curled up next to a fire, cool winter night, or it's kind of like drinking hot cocoa right on the eve of Christmas. It's like eating a gummy bear for the first time in 2 years, or falling asleep in a feather bed. It's so amazing that you really aren't sure if you're alive or not because the feeling is just so incredible. So, to give you an update on this week, first of all, I got hot water, and it was a good feeling, definitely a good feeling. So I'm really excited about that. Other things that have been going on. Well, first of all, I talked to some lawyers that my school hired for me so that I could actually stay in the country. And the news that I have to share with that is that I will need to actually leave Bulgaria for a couple months. So, good news for you, United States folks. I'm going to be heading back there in about a week and a half to hang out with you guys for a couple months. Hopefully until October 5 to 15. Hopefully the visa stuff will clear and be done, and I can come back here. So that's I don't know. That's good news, bad news. It's been really great getting to know some of the people here and working with some of the kids here. I'm already it's only been like a month and a half that I've worked with them, and I'm already gonna sense that I'm going to miss them, even if it's just for 2 months. So, but then of course it will be great to see family, friends, and delightful students again. It will be kind of interesting though, because I will actually kind of be like a foreigner in my own country, in the sense that all my stuff now will be here. Like everything I own is here in Bulgaria, and I will only take a few things back to the States to survive for the 2 months. So it'll be very interesting because I will be living out of a suitcase in my own country. So that'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting. But still, it'll be good to be home, be around people that speak English. Oh no, I'm sorry. I know some of you are Bulgarians that are watching this too, and I have very much enjoyed it. It is interesting how much you miss your own language when you're constantly around another one, but it hasn't been that big of a deal. So, okay. So what does that mean? That means I'm not going to be doing these videos so much anymore. Not anymore. I will be doing these videos, but they're not going to be necessarily directed at my target audience, which is updating people from the US. Instead, I'm going to start making a couple of videos that will actually introduce me to, or introduce myself to my future students, because AEA is still hiring me as a teacher, as a 5th grade teacher. And so for the first month of school, they'll have a substitute. And so to help ease the transition for when I return in October, I'm going to make some videos introducing myself so that when I show up in October, then they won't be surprised at who I am. So that is that. The other thing I was going to do, because there's been a huge request from some parents, has been, not parents, maybe parents, I don't know, students, I'm assuming, who are wanting me to tell stories on here because these updates are just boring. And that's great. So I'm gonna start doing that. And in the title, to help you figure out which kind of videos you want to watch, like if you like these updates and you like the information part, but you're not really interested in hearing some fictional stories that I make up, then you can just look at the title, and if it's a normal title, then you're good. If the title starts with story and then a colon, that's what I'm going to do. Story colon, and then I'll write the title of whatever story I make up. then it's story time, and you can listen to my stories through that. And eventually, what I'm going to do is try and put the Adventures of Atticus up on YouTube too, but I need to sort of coordinate that with my awesome illustrator, Mr. Loker, and see what he's willing to do, if I can actually send the videos to him in the first place, because I keep telling him I am, and it's been like 2, 3, 10 months since I've done that. So, but hopefully the Adventures of Atticus could get up, because I know that's a pretty popular story that people want to hear. So, yeah, that is kind of the new system of things, and that's, yeah, what I'm going to do. I'm going to mention one more thing. I don't know how many of you were interested in giving in this Children of Hope donation thing that I'd set up online. The donations have been, it's helping the gypsy children in Sofia, the one village that we go to all the time, and so if you're wanting to donate, you're actually going to have to do it this week. I know the date was September 4, but now that I'm leaving, I think not next week, but a little bit into the week after, I'm pretty sure that's when I'm going to head back to the U.S. So, and they're going to need the money before I return. So I am going to withdraw whatever donations from my bank account at the end of this week. So if you have any kind of money that you would like to donate to the Orlandofsi children, the gypsy children, please make that donation this week, because I won't be able to get it to them in time otherwise. I'm not sure how I would be able to get it over here while I'm in the U.S. either. So if you're wanting to donate and you were just putting it off and you're thinking, tomorrow, today is the day, okay? Today is the day. Make that donation so I can pull it out of the bank account at the end of the week and give it to the right people, and those wonderful, wonderful children will have no concern about needing school supplies or anything like that. So, and again, doesn't matter how much. A little bit more. Doesn't matter. So that is that. Okay. I don't really have anything else to talk about. This sort of has been a huge consumption of my thought. Hot water and having to leave here for 2 months. That's been the forefront of most of this week's things that have been going on. The really cool thing that is, it is kind of a little bit of a frustrating to move here and then spend 2 months back at home when I'm trying to figure out my life here. But the really, really cool thing is that in order for me to stay here, because to get my actual visa, for the year, is going to take something like 4 months. And so they have to buy time. And so instead of me being gone for 4 months, they're going to get me another visa in only 2 months. And this visa is one where they set up a company in the UK, and then and the owner of that company is me. I'm the owner of that company, and then they create an extension, a branch of that company in Bulgaria. Again, where I would be the sole representative. Of course, I'm the owner of the company too. And so once everything's said and done, the name of the company is, guess what? Change the World Schools. So I actually will have by October my own company, official company, called Change the World Schools, and I'll be able to use that company hopefully in the future to actually build my schools, because according to the lawyers it'll be educational purposed, and I'm not sure how the company works as far as if I was going to work abroad, and in this sense the word abroad would mean from Europe to, like, say, the United States. I don't know how that works, but because it's based in the UK, it will easily be able to open branches in other countries in Europe. So yeah, that is kind of how that works. So I'm really excited about that, because I'm going to get certificates and licenses and everything. Everything is going to be written out in my name. And from what I understand, it's not a cheat process, but because the American English Academy wants me to work here sooner than later, in October rather than December, then they have opted to pay this themselves to ensure that I can work here in October. So that's really cool. Really excited about that. Yeah. So anyway, that is that. And yeah, so I'm really, it's not the plan that I would have chosen myself if I had to choose how this transfer was going to be, because I'm going to have to pick up some odd jobs and different things in the U.S. while I'm back at home, because living in the U.S. is not cheap, quite frankly. So and figuring out like insurance for my car again, and where I can get a cheap phone to use for the couple months while I'm there. Those small things that really aren't a big deal when you're living in the U.S., but then once you drop everything and move to another country, then they kind of become a big deal. That's going to be a little bit of an issue, but overall, I'm pretty excited. So anyway, there's my update. Very short and sweet. And yeah, you guys are awesome. I will see you in about a week and a half. I'll give you more exact updates when I know. Okay.